to this presentation about structure and function of blood vessels. We are starting with an introduction. We will discuss the structure and function of blood vessels. The circulatory system is a complex network essential for maintaining homeostasis. The blood vessels play a crucial role in ensuring the efficient transport of blood, nutrients, gases, and waste products. Understanding the structure and functions of blood vessels, including arteries, veins, and capillaries, provides insight into how blood flow is regulated and how various physiological factors such as blood pressure and vascular resistance influence overall cardiovascular health. The first thing we'll discuss is each type of blood vessel. Each type of blood vessel has distinct characteristics that suit its role in circulation. Arteries are thick-walled blood vessels that carry oxygen-rich blood away from the heart to the tissues, except for pulmonary arteries, which carry deoxygenated blood to the lungs. Their elasticity helps maintain blood pressure and flow during the cardiac cycle, and also has branching, and it's the highest pressure blood vessel in the body. Moving to arterioles. They are small branches of arteries with thinner walls and smaller diameter. They play a crucial role in regulating blood flow and blood pressure. They also constrict and dilate, controlling the blood volume that enters capillary beds and tissues. This regulation is essential for directing blood flow according to the metabolic needs of different tissues. Moving on, we have capillaries. They are the smallest blood vessels, consisting of single layer of endothelial cells surrounded by basement membrane. They are so narrow, in fact, that red blood cells often have to pass through them in a single file. Isn't that crazy? Capillaries are primary sites for exchanging gases, nutrients, and waste products between blood and tissue. Their thin walls facilitate diffusion, allowing oxygen and nutrients to pass through into tissues, while also enabling carbon dioxide and metabolic waste to enter the bloodstream for removal. Then we move on to venules. Venules are small blood vessels that collect blood from capillary beds. They have thinner walls than arterioles and are composed of the same material, endothelium, and also a small amount of smooth muscle and connective tissue. They serve as a conduit for deoxygenated blood to return to capillaries, or coming from capillaries, moving on to larger veins. They begin the process of collecting blood from microcirculation and gradually increasing in size as they merge to form larger veins. Next we have veins. They have thinner walls compared to arteries with a larger lumen. The essential cavity through which the blood flows, like arteries, consists of 3 layers. Many veins, especially in the limbs, contain one-way valves that prevent the backflow of blood. Veins carry deoxygenated blood back to the heart, with the exception of the pulmonary veins, which carries oxygenated blood from the lungs to the heart. Lower pressure in veins compared to arteries means that they rely on skeletal muscle and the presence of valves to help propel the blood back towards the heart. On the next slide, you get to see an image of this. Here you see the different layers. It also talks about different blood flow and how it goes from arteries to capillaries to veins. Blood vessels are connected or composed of 3 distinct layers, each with specific structures and functions that contribute to the overall role of the vessel in the circulatory system. These layers are known as tunics. The first layer of of blood vessels is the tunic intima. It is the innermost layer of blood vessels, and it consists of a smooth layer of endothelium cells that line the lumen. Beneath the endothelium layer is a sublayer which may contain a thin layer of connective tissue, and in larger vessels that would actually be a layer of elastic tissue. The smooth surface of the cells reduces friction as blood flows through the vessel, facilitating smooth blood flow. This layer also plays a role in the regulation of blood pressure. The intima is involved in the response to injury and inflammation, impacting processes like thrombosis. The second layer, the tunic media, is the middle layer of blood vessels and is typically the thickest layer, primarily in arteries. It's composed of smooth muscle cells arranged in a circular pattern, along with various amounts of elastic fibers and connective tissue. The tunic media is crucial for regulating blood pressure and flow. Smooth muscle contraction and vasoconstriction can decrease the diameter of vessels, increasing blood pressure. This plays a crucial role in controlling the distribution of blood to different layers or different tissues according to their metabolic needs. The third layer, the tunic extra or externa, is the outermost layer of blood vessels, primarily composed of connective tissue that involves collagen and elastin fibers. The layer provides structural support and flexibility to the vessel. Its structure varies slightly among other different types of blood vessels, but it generally serves a similar process or purpose across all types. The thickness varies depending on the type of blood vessel. It's generally thicker in veins compared to arteries, reflecting the need for additional structural support as veins often act as a reservoir for blood. The tunica externa may also be innervated by nerves, which can influence vascular tone and regulate blood flow. On the next slide, this is shown. Through this you can see all the different layers. And through this, you can see where all the different layers lie within one. It's very interesting. Next, we're going to talk about capillaries. Capillaries are the smallest and most numerous blood vessels, playing a crucial role in the circulatory system. They are primary sites for exchanging gases, nutrients, and waste products between blood and surrounding tissue. The structure of capillaries allows for efficient diffusion, and their extensive network ensures that all tissues receive adequate blood supply. Based on their structural characteristics and permeability, capillaries can be classified into three main types: continuous capillaries, fenestrated capillaries, and synodosial capillaries. Continuous capillaries are the most common form of capillaries. They have a continuous endothelium layer that forms a tight seal with minimal gaps between adjacent layers, and they have a complete basement membrane surrounding them. These capillaries are found in most tissues, including muscle, skin, and lungs. Their tight junction helps the blood-brain barrier in the brain, preventing harmful substances from entering the nervous system, while also allowing necessary nutrients to pass. Next is fenestrated capillaries. They have tiny pores and in the endothelium layers that increases permeability. The basement membrane is still intact. These capillaries are found in areas with a high exchange rate, such as kidneys, intestines, and endocrine glands. These little pores in it allow for a rapid exchange of larger molecules, such as hormones, nutrients, and that facilitates filtration processes in kidneys, where blood plasma is filtered to form. The next capillary is synucleated capillaries. They are larger and more irregular shaped than continuous or fenestrated. They have more significant gaps between the endothelium cells and the discontinued basement membrane, making them highly permeable. They are primarily found in the liver, spleen, bone marrow, and lymphoid tissue. The large openings in them allow for the passage of larger molecules such as proteins and even whole cells like red blood cells and white blood cells. This facilitates the exchange of substances between the blood and surrounding tissues, particularly processes such as recycling red blood cells in the spleen and producing blood cells in the bone marrow. On the next slide, you see the three different types. Keep in mind, some capillaries are only wide enough for one single red blood cell to pass through it at one time. In conclusion, the structure and function of blood vessels are fundamental to the overall operation of the circulatory system, which is essential for maintaining homeostasis and supporting the body's physiological need. These vessels work to regulate blood flow, pressure, and volume across the body. Thank you.